What's up guys, Mad Fragger back again. Got another fragrance review video, and today I'm just going to go through some of the best and worst fragrances that I picked up over this past year. We're bringing 2024 to a close. We're looking forward to picking up a lot of new stuff in 25, and over this year I've picked up a lot of fragrances, and I just want to kind of highlight the few of the best that I've picked up and a few of the worst. So let's start out with the worst, and one of those is, now these are decants because these are fragrances that I did not add to the collection, but I went ahead and just decanted a little bit of it. I like to do that. Anytime I get rid of a fragrance, I like to just decant a small amount just for categorical purposes. So the first one I want to talk about is Bulgari Aquamarine. I picked this one up at TJ Maxx, brought it home, gave it a test wear, and after one test wear, I knew, I really did like the scent profile, actually. The scent profile was not so bad. I did like the seaweed aspect to it. It was nice and fresh, aquatic. But it had the poorest performance that I've found in a fragrance, to date. Even some of the cheaper, classic match Walmart fragrances. This thing, it literally was about a half an hour of where you could actually smell it on you, and then in a few hours it was completely gone, not a trace of it to be found, not even a skin scent. I don't know if it was the batch, maybe, or maybe it was just an older, maybe it was an older batch, I don't know. But for me, this fragrance did not work. I'm going to be picking up the Latafa Atlas here very soon, and I'll be doing a review on that one. That one's supposed to have kind of a similar kind of aquatic, kind of seaweed, that type of ocean kind of profile. So hopefully that one will give me what I was looking for out of this one, because this one just didn't do it. It was Bulgari Aquamarine. I recommend that you guys steer clear of that one. Just in my opinion, I didn't care for it. The performance was very poor, and the scent profile was okay, but nothing to brag about, nothing to write home about. So the second one that I picked up that I did not keep, and I ended up, getting rid of it, trading it off to somebody, because it just, the scent profile just did not agree with me. The performance was fine, a little bit above average, but the scent profile, for me, it just wasn't my vibe. And that's going to be Armaf Odyssey Homme. And these are the ones that come in that little thermos. Looks like a thermos that I had in my lunchbox when I was 12 years old. There's a line of them. I've heard great things about some of the other ones. I picked this one up because at the time I was kind of on this hunt for a decent DHI dupe, a fragrance inspired by DHI that was half decent, a clone. And I had initially heard that it had a DHI vibe to it, so I said, "Oh, frig it, I'll pull the trigger, check it out." Turns out it does have iris. There is iris in this fragrance, but very almost undetectable iris in my opinion. But it wasn't what I thought it was, and that wasn't the whole thing. It has this root beer kind of cola vibe to it with a little vanilla. It's almost like a root beer float or a Coke float even. Just didn't vibe for me. Wasn't a fragrance that I wanted to wear, and that I wanted on, didn't like the way it came off my skin, basically. Sometimes you get a fragrance and it's just not your vibe. This one wasn't my vibe. Now, I'm not saying that this one may not be the vibe for somebody else. It might be. It did have a little bit above average performance. It wasn't too bad. Quality seemed good. It just wasn't my thing. So, but if you are getting, like I did, if you're getting this indication that it may have a classy kind of iris feel to it, based on the note breakdown, it doesn't. It's like a root beer float, and if that's something that you're interested in, that's a good one to try out, Armaf Odyssey Homme. So that was that one. I ended up taking that one, trading that one off, got rid of it. It didn't stay in the collection. Now here's one that so far this one's sticking around in the collection, and that's LFA Zanzibar. I don't really care for this so far. Let's just say it that way. It's very lactonic to me. The coconut in it is not as heavy as I thought, which is fine. It don't need to be heavier or anything like that. But I guess I was expecting, and I think a lot of people were expecting this to be more of like a LeBeau kind of vibe, like a tropical. And there, I mean, don't get me wrong, it does have a kind of a tropical feel to it, but just not really what I was expecting. And maybe that's the problem, is I was expecting something out of it and it wasn't. And so on this one, I'm still kind of like, I did a first impressions unboxing on it, but I haven't come back and did a full review because, like, really, I haven't. I want to give this one some time. I want to let it sit on the shelf for a little bit and give it like a wear here and there. I'm going to maybe wait like a month or so and give it another wear, and then I'm just going to kind of see how it develops. I don't want to give up on it yet, but so far, this one just isn't doing it for me. It might end up making its way out of the collection. I don't think it's going to stick around. Although I hate to, anytime I put anything on the Lattafa tray, I like it to stay there, even if I'm not reaching for it that much, because I'm just a Lattafa enthusiast. I mean, I got 16 of them. I got a couple more on the way, so I'm just a Lattafa enthusiast. But anyway, Zanzibar by Lattafa, so far not really vibing for me. We'll see how that turns out. So as far as, like, there's not a lot of fragrances that I pick up that I don't end up keeping and employing into the collection and reaching for here and there. Like, even if I don't reach for them very often, I keep them in the collection. I only get rid of them if it's something that really doesn't agree with me. Another one, and I don't have a decant of it because I gave the decant that I did make of it to my good friend and he loved it, and that was Mancera Oud Lemon Mint. A great fragrance with great performance. It just isn't my vibe, and off of my skin, I just didn't really like what it was doing for me, and I traded it off, and I made a little decant of it and gave it to my buddy, and he loved it. But yeah, that was another one. It just didn't vibe for me, just a personal thing. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad fragrance, it just didn't really vibe for me. But yeah, so in 2024, there's only been a few fragrances that I picked up and haven't kept in the collection and been able to enjoy, at least even if on a limited basis. So the first one I want to highlight that I picked up that was one of the best that I picked up in 2024 is this one, and that's Oud Classic by Alwatanya. As I was saying earlier, I was really kind of on this like quest almost to find a good DHI clone, and I tried a few different ones. I've had a few different ones. This one is above and beyond better than anything else that I've tried that was attempting this DHI DNA, and this one is it for me as far as a DHI inspired by, dupe, whatever, of DHI. This one did it. This one fits the bill. It's got the scent profile nailed really well. The performance on it is not like outstanding, but it's really good, and the presentation is really nice heavy metal cap. Atomizer isn't that great. I do kind of have a little bit of complaint with the atomizer. It's one of those ones where you have to spray double the sprays because the atomizer is not that great on it, in my opinion. But yeah, Oud Classic is a fantastic dupe of DHI, and I'm glad that I found one after searching and looking and going through maybe, I think, 3 or 4 different dupes. This is the one that I ended up, that ended up being the best in my opinion. So that's the one that stays in my collection. And I was really happy to find that one. The next one that I was really happy with that I picked up in 24 that I'm ecstatic about this one. And I just picked it up recently here near the end of the year. It was only like maybe a week or a week and a half ago. And that's going to be LFA The Kingdom. And this is inspired by Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male Elixir. It is bang on, dead on, like bullseye. They nailed it. Home run. Lattafa did an excellent job duping Le Male Elixir with this one here. It has great performance. The scent profile is, like I said, on the money. And I like the presentation. I mean, I think a lot of people are overly critical about presentation. I like when, especially when like these Middle Eastern clone companies kind of like do these kind of interpretive presentations. I really enjoy that, and I like, you know, kind of seeing what they come up with. I do like this one. Yeah, it's kind of a cheap plastic cover, yeah, and you know, it's got these little kind of crystals that they love to put on these cheap Middle Eastern fragrances, and all that. But I personally think the presentation looks pretty cool, like it's decent, and the fragrance, the juice in here is outstanding. Highly recommend this one, LFA The Kingdom, and that's a dupe of Amal Elixir. Good one. I don't think it's been out very long. I think it's fairly a fairly new fragrance. So the other thing I picked up, and this was also very recently, these actually were sent to me by Zaharoff, by George Zaharoff. Sent me these bottles to review on my channel. I've reviewed the rosé. I haven't reviewed yet the leather tabac. I'm still, you know, giving it a couple wears, giving it some tests, kind of coming up with what I want to say about it, formulating an opinion of what I want to, you know, comment about it. But yeah, Zaharoff Signature Rosé and Zaharoff Signature Leather Tabac. Now, I had smelled tabac before. I had got a dabber sample of it before, and I knew that it was a beautiful fragrance. George makes excellent creations, sources ingredients from all over the planet, the best ingredients to make these fragrances, and they're excellent fragrances. But being the leather lover that I am, and I do love a leather fragrance, it's probably my favorite scent profile in a fragrance is something with leather. And I've got a ton of fragrances represented in my collection that have some kind of, you know, or it's leather with this or leather with that. Like I like exploring different combinations of leather with different notes. I just like the scent profile of leather. And this one, I think this is probably the best leather fragrance that I've ever got my nose on. It is. I'll say it is. Ombre leather. Tom Ford's ombre leather was the fragrance that kind of got me into being interested in fragrances and got me into this hobby, got me into this collecting fragrances. Like that's one of the ones that really got me started into doing this. And it's always been like one of my favorites. But Zaharoff Leather Tabac, again, I will be doing a review of this very soon. This one is the best leather fragrance that I've smelled yet. The best, I feel like it could be the best leather fragrance. Let me put it this way. I don't have a lot of fragrances, especially compared to a lot of guys out there, a lot of people out there. Even a lot of you probably have more in their collection than I do. I'm just over 100 bottles, I think, right now. But I have a lot of leather fragrances. And just out of my collection and what I've sampled or tried before, this is the best leather fragrance I've ever put my nose on, hands down. This is bad boy, masculine, leather jacket, smoking cigarettes, drinking booze, naughty leather. This is excellent, and I am going to be doing a review on it soon. But these two, Zaharoff's, those are also great fragrances that I picked up over the course of this year. Again, it was very recent. But so yeah, in 2024, I've added a lot of fragrances to the collection over this past year. And there was only a few that I didn't care for, and there was a whole bunch that I picked up that I really did like and that really ended up being great pickups. But these ones I just talked about were, I think, the best that I managed to pick up this past year. So we're moving into 2025, and I feel like I'm probably gonna, because I'm a crazy person that can't stop, and I think a lot of you know what I'm talking about when I say I just can't stop. Like, hi, my name is Steven, and I'm a fragaholic. You know, that's pretty much where I am right now here. And in 25, I'm sure I'm going to pick up even more than I did this year. And hopefully going forward, I pick up some even better things. And next year, I'm able to highlight, you know, a lot of great things that I picked up in the coming year. But thanks for watching my video. Thanks for watching this kind of little recap of 2024, what I like, what I didn't like. and look forward to the year approaching. Hope that I get some more people watching the channel. I'm going to be making some upgrades to some of the equipment over this year, trying to kind of build and grow the channel and make it better. And I hope that what I have to say is interesting enough that people will watch going forward. Thanks for watching my reviews. For those of you out there who are watching the channel, especially those of you who are subscribed to the YouTube channel or that follow me on TikTok, thank you so much. So going forward into 25, I'm really excited about a lot of things. There's some new releases that are kind of just dropping now that I'm going to try to pick up in 25 as well. And I'm looking forward to picking those up and sharing them with you and reviewing them, and and some that have been hyped that I need to pick up and kind of give my opinion on. Liquid Brawn, the new Supremacy Collector's Edition, the new Afnan 9 p.m. Rebel. There's quite a few that I want to pick up and discuss with you guys and let you know what my opinion is, although there's a lot of people that have given opinions on them so far already. I'm aware of that. But hopefully you still are interested. Those of you who do watch my channel are interested in what I have to say about them. So going forward, that's what I'm going to be doing. I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for watching this video today. I'm the Mad Fragger, and I'll see you next time.